Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card, which I'm calling an inside block card. As you open it, it's got the little blocks inside there. Okay, it stands up quite happily. Whichever way you want to put your folds, it'll go into position for you. The colour scheme on this one that I've used is Lemon Lime Twist and Balmy Blue. Oh, that's the wrong way. That's it. And this one I have done as Grapefruit Grove with Lemon Lime Twist. Exactly the same, it's just a change of the colour scheme. Okay, and that's what we're going to be doing today, except I'm going to be using Highland Heather for my colour. Yeah, so let's tell you the card pieces that we're going to be needing. First of all, I have done quite a lot of my layering already to save us a little bit of time, and this is a very easy card to make, trust me. So this piece of cardstock measures 6 inches by 10 inches, and again I apologise, there are no metric for this because there's just too many measurements for me to be confident that I can get them all working together with each other, so I apologise for that. So it's 6 inches and 10 inches, and then we have 3 panels of Whisper White, and this measures 2 3/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, 1 3/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, 2 7/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, and then you need 6 Whisper White squares which measure 1 1/8 inch by 1 3/8 inches. And then to layer onto these you need some designer series paper, and this piece should measure 2 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and on the 6 squares you need 1 inch by 1 1/4 inches. The designer series paper, I'd just like to explain to you, is the Botanical butterflies, and this is the set that is available as a free gift during celebration. These are just some of the sheets. Okay, so that's the sheet that I'm using for this. Not using that one. This is the one that I used for the green card, and on the other side of it is the butterflies. Now these are the ones that need to be punched out for this project. I brought it over so that I could at least demonstrate that for you. And then on this one, these are the little butterflies here. Okay, so I'll just show you how that's done as well. These are the black and white ones. And that was that on that one. This one, I didn't really like the design of it, but what I did on one sheet, I just cut a piece as a top layer and I just coloured in the butterfly, left all the other black and white. It looked stunning, it was beautiful. Right, other pieces that you're going to need. One piece that's a Whisper White, 2 inches by 4 inches, that's for some stamping. There's 2 pieces that are approximately 1 1/2 by 2 3/4 inches, and they're for the little windows that I've die cut there. But I'm going to show you an alternative to that. Still doing the windows, but using our self-adhesive sheets. And you need a piece of, hold on, this Highland Heather measures 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and that's going to be layered behind the stamping. And then there's another piece which measures 1 3/8 inches by 1 7/8 inches, which is going to be layered behind the sentiment there. And for this one, I'm going to show you how I do this using our multi-purpose adhesive sheet. It just makes adhering something as intricate as this to our work a lot easier. So I thought I'd show you that. It's not something I show you very often, just now and again. So I think what we're going to do first of all, we're going to work on our cardstock. I use my scoreboard for this. Right, so, right, okay, that's good. So I've got it in the landscape way, and let me just get my scoring tool. Turn that back over again. So many instructions that I've written on this. All the measurements and the instructions, the score lines and everything else that I'm doing will be in the box below the video. And when I say the box below the video, you must be viewing it on YouTube. You won't find it if you look on it via my web. Okay, so for scoring, to start off with, we are going to score at 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inches and 7.5 inches. Okay, now don't get rid of your scoreboard. Where's my bone folder? Here we go. Let's just move that to one side for a moment. We've got 3 score lines across here. That third one, 1, 2, 3, that's a 6-inch one, so you need to fold it on that one. Okay, so that's 6 inches. Make sure it lines up nicely and then give it a good score. Okay, so with the short side facing you, so you've got, that's 6 inches, so that's a 7.5 inch score. Bring your scoreboard back again, and what you need to do is with a very sharp pencil, which mine seems to have gone, oh no it doesn't, here we go, I sharpened it to make sure I got a nice sharp point on it. Right, let me put my card here. Right, what you need to do is you need to do some little pencil marks along here, and they should be at 3/4 inch. Okay, that's all I'm doing, just a little line like that. We will be erasing these by the time we've finished working with them. So it's 3/4 inch, and then at 2 inches, and then 2.5 inches, and 3 3/4 inches, and 4.25 inches, and 5.5 inches. Okay, now what I would like you to do is fold on this 7-inch, 7.5 inch line, wasn't it? Yep, the 7.5 inch line. Okay, so I'm still going the same way that I folded that previous one. Going to make sure it's nice and straight, and then I'm going to give it a good crease. Okay, so I have my pencil marks down here, and I have my new fold there, but this time I've got the long piece in front of me. Right, the short flap is at the back. I want to be able to see my pencil marks there. So I bring my scoreboard back over again, and then I'm going to put my cardstock in there, but this time I want you to make pencil marks at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, 3.5 inches, 4 inches, and 5.25 inches. Now what you should find is each of these pencil marks is opposite the one below. Okay, now that's all we need our scoreboard for. Now what we need to do is to cut from that line down to that line, that one to that one, and all the way along. Now if you're confident you can just do it from there, go ahead, but I draw myself lines on here so that I know that I'm straight. You know me and straight lines. So I'm just going to make sure that my cardstock is lining up nicely on the lines on my grid paper, and then when I put my ruler in here I can make sure I've got the same distance between the line on here as I have that side, and then I can join these two up. So I missed it a bit there, but at least I know that this is straight. So let's do that again, lining this up. And then lining that up and making sure it's the same on the other end. Okay, so I've got the same gap between that line as I have that line, and then join. And then the next one. Let's move that up a bit. In fact, I'm going to start watching down here. Can you see that far? Yeah. Okay. And that's it. I think the reason why there is a very slight difference, why these aren't matching up absolutely perfectly, it's because on the scoreboard there is a groove where you put your score tool in, and there's a very slight gap in that, you know, so your pencil can move slightly, which will account for this slight difference. But if you're using grid paper with your ruler to make sure you are lined up straight, it's going to work perfectly. Now let's move that one up. No, turn it around this way. It's easier to hold. That's better. Make sure that's nice and straight. Straight the other side. That's not. That's better. Well, where's my pencil marks gone? Of course I'm looking the other end for them, aren't I? There we go. There we are. So we've got 6 lines there, and we need to cut them straight up to this line. But before we do that, we need to get this folded back onto our 6-inch line. Okay? So there's our 7.5, our 6 is up there. If you don't do that one, you'll be cutting in the wrong place. Now it is a lot easier if you use big scissors to do this bit, so that you can do this in one straight cut. There's that one. That's number 2. Three. 4. 5. 've gone quite to the end on that one. That's better. Right, before we do anything further with this, let's erase our pencil marks. This is going to be at the back of our card. But I don't think we want to leave them there anyway, do we? When I found this card, I was actually looking for a card that's called an inside step card. And the only ones I found needed you to download templates or use a scan and cut, which is not a machine that I'm interested in getting. Plus the fact it's rather limiting, I think, from the point of view that how many of my subscribers do actually have scan and cut. Anyway, it was while I was looking for that I came across this one, and this was by a lady called Edith Ray. Right, now I'm just going to sand my card there. So we need to come to this first score line, and we're going to fold it so that it's a mountain fold. And then the next one we are going to fold as a mountain fold. Again, make sure it's all nice and straight. So what you should finish up with is, when you're, that's going to come up there. Right, okay. With your boxes here, you should find, by having it this way, you've got to have at the bottom here your 3/4 of an inch band, and up there it's a 1/2 inch band. Okay, so you've got one panel on the right hand side of that. On the left hand side you've got your 2 panels. If you've got them like that, you're good to go. If you've got it the other way round, just tip it over and make your folds go the opposite direction. So what you need to do then is to make the little bands go back, including the 3/4 of an inch one. Okay, so the big ones come forward and the little ones go back. Once you've got that, make sure your creases are really nicely burnished. And then this one, this always confuses me. Fold that way, and that's it. Make sure that's nicely burnished too. Okay, so that's the way our card goes, so that when it's folded up to go into the envelope, it's like that. Okay, so it's like that. As you can see, I positioned my butterflies so they are exactly halfway through. Okay, so what we need to do now, with these layers that I've already added together, I'm going to put these onto my card, and I'm using Tombow all the way through here. Right, that's the medium one. Right, Tombow. I don't know if there's a right and wrong way to this design. There we go, that's that one. The thin one for the next one. Oops. I've got a little face on that daisy. And some more down here. I don't know if they're meant to be faces. Nope, no faces there. Right, now with these are going onto our blocks. I'm just going to put glue on two at a time. It was a bit difficult working out some of these measurements because it looked as if they would have been a bit better if I'd done 1/16 of inches, but I really didn't want to go down that road. I think these, just going by 1/8 of an inch, has worked out fine. Right, and the last two. There we go. Okay. So, as I say, it is easy, it's just there's quite a bit of work to be done on it. So first of all, let me show you about the butterflies. These two I've already painted myself, and I've used Stampin' blends, and these I've punched. So let me just show you this one first. I've been using the Duet butterfly punch. Okay, so this is the one for the big one. What you need to do is to, obviously you lose all the edge ones here because it's only part of butterflies, but if you decide which is your first one, where's my little scissors? Okay, so that's my first complete butterfly there. So I'm going to cut that out, making sure that I don't cut onto any of the other butterflies. And what I have done is I have been cutting quite a lot of these butterflies, and I've got a little cellophane bag that I've been putting them all in, so that each time I need a new one, I've already got them. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I've already got quite a lot of them. So now that is obviously not going to be easy to get to go in there, so I use a piece of cardstock. I'm not going to show you that because that was not a success, which is why I'm using it for this. But let's use some Tombow. So I'm just going to pop that onto there so that I've got an extra little arm, and pop that in there, line it up, and then punch it out. Okay, very nice and easy just to get coloured then. And then the other one that I did, this one, as you can see, I've already been excuse me, been punching bits out. Now, to a certain extent, some of these you can actually just go straight to it, like that one there. Just as you're doing it, just make sure that you're not punching any others so that you're losing them. It's a lot better just to take your time, cut it out, and then put it on one of those little arm things. Okay, so there's another one for me. Okay, no colouring to it, it's already all done. Absolutely brilliant. I think this has probably got to be one of the most popular designer series papers ever. But as I say, it is a celebration item, so you can only get it for a £45 order or €60 order. Right, first of all, I'm going to show you how I coloured this. Now, I have used Stampin' blends there, and that isn't lemon lime twist, that is actually granny apple green. Okay, so I've got the light on both of the markers. I did try using the correct colour with their Stampin' Right markers. These are Stampin' blends. These are Stampin' Right markers, and I did try colouring with one of these, and that's what it came up like. So no competition really, is it? I mean, the one with the blends is just beautiful. The colours are so into the colours that I'm after. I know it's not lemon lime twist, but it blends in beautifully. I mean, this one here, where I did the blue, that's not lemon lime twist either, but it has blended in. This is, but that's blended in really well to it. Okay, so you know, you can get away with these things. So let me just show you. That's the one I didn't want. Right, so how do I do these? I always start on the whatever I'm doing on the inside bit, and on the back of this is the lighter green, which is the one I used for the lemon lime twist. And I'm not totally happy when I'm adhering to things like this where you can see underneath, but this worked out really well because I was using that anyway, but also because the colour came through and they were the two colours of this colour scheme, so I was really happy with that. Right, stop talking. So I'm just going to do the inside of that big one, the straight bit there, that round bit, and that. And then again on the other side, the big bit that looks like a petal. The straight line, the little bulbous bit, and then the big bulbous bit. Okay, let me just show you what I've done there. Okay, so the big petal first, the straight line like a bridge, then a small bulbous bit and a bigger bulbous bit. So that was all with the Highland Heather. And then with the Granny Apple Green, I am going to go over all these little holes first. And these here. Right, now I'm going all the areas the other side of the Highland Heather. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope so. and you need 3 of these for your card. But it's just so quick and easy using the stamping blends. I do go back to give it just a little bit of shading, but not much. It's got the grey bit on there as part of the design, so that's already giving you shading there. So I just go round the edges a bit with my pen again, blend. I don't worry about going over the holes around the outside at all. But there we go. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. It looks good, doesn't it? And on the other side, you've got little colours like that, so that all blends in with the colour scheme of the card. So it's brilliant. Right. So let's adhere these on. Oh, is this it? No. Oh, there he is. Flew away. Right, okay, I fold on both sides of the body, on each of them. The nature of this card, they are going to get flattened, especially if they get posted. But once something has been given the fold like that, I don't think it ever really goes away. Whoops, come back. Another one flown off again. Might be in the same one, no. Right, okay, let's try again. Let's do him first. A little bit of Tombow along his body. And then I bring this step over and I put his body about centre, and then get him to stick down there. I've only got the glue on the other side of that body there, so his wing won't be sticking down. There we go, that's another one. And then the third one. Okay. Now for the other butterflies, the little ones, I've chosen to use 2 purple, 2 blue and 2, I thought I went for yellow, green ones. No, that's a nuisance. Have I got some green ones here that I can reach quickly? I'd much rather have green. It goes with my colour scheme better, doesn't it? Right, here we go. Must have 2 green ones in here. Now here we go, here's one. And is that green or yellow? That's green. That's better. I feel I'm just sticking to my colour scheme then. Because blue's like a purple, isn't it? I think. Right, so what we do with these is we're going to fold them on their bodies as well. And I like to mix the colours up here, so I have one of each colour down either side. Got to make sure they're not sitting next to each other. So you've got to go up there. Okay, so green this side, green there, blue this side, blue there, purple here, purple here. Again, I'm going to just put some glue on their bodies, but these I'm not going to keep straight like the big ones. Let's get rid of that blob. Oh, it's better. And these, oh I said, didn't I, don't keep them flying in the same direction. Any which way. Although I don't do upside down. Well, not yet. Right, so blue over this side. And I think we'll have this one flying towards the right hand side. While that's getting adhered down, I'm going to stamp their antenna on. So there's one. Where's the other stamp gone? Oh, here it is. And these are both from the stamp set called Butterfly Gala. Okay, it's that and that. And these coordinate with the butterfly stamp, the punch rather. So as those two butterflies are one above the other, the little one above the big one, that's how they get stamped out as well. Very, very clever. Right, so we'll use stays on. I'll do the big one first. Oops. I'm not going to try and go over that. That's more like it. I will go over that afterwards with a fine tip pen to finish that antenna off properly. Okay, let's try doing these ones correctly. Don't you agree? It makes an amazing amount of difference when you've got the antenna on these butterfly. If you're stamping like this and you find that you've misjudged it slightly and you've got a white area between the end of his body, in fact I'll use it on there, that wasn't a very good shot. Yeah, so if you see some white on his head before the stamped antenna, then you could just use your Stampin' Right marker. So what was I going to do? Which one was I going to do? That one's a bit wonky, isn't it? I just draw the black there. That makes it look more like it. That's better. I'm not going to try. Am I? Maybe I will try it. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, that's good. So, your marker pens also always come in handy for that sort of thing, so keep an eye out for that. Right, so now we've got the image, the sentiment, and the windows. So, what should we do first? Let's do stamping first, I think. the image I've already stamped and coloured, but I will show you how I do it. Now the sentiment I'm using, which says hope your day is as wonderful as you, is from the Golden Afternoon stamp set. This one here. I love that saying. The image that I'm using, it's this one here from Beauty Abounds. This has got a set of dies to go with it, and you can actually die cut these butterflies as well. So that's just it, I think, isn't it? So let's do the sentiment first. There we go. That's lovely. And the image is this one. Excuse me. There we go. Isn't that a beautiful image? I love it. So what I do, this one I do use the Stampin' Right markers with, these ones here. And what I do, this is Lemon Lime Twist. And these bits with the stripes on it, I count that as part of the leafy bits. So I'll colour all of those in. I think there's 3 of them. Yep. Then all the leaves. And I don't worry about doing anything fancy on this. I don't go back in and try and do some shading. I think there's so much detail on this image, I really don't think it needs it. I just keep looking for leaves. Okay, all this will get finished off later. And then Highland Heather. Everything around the flower I'm classing as part of the flower. Some of the petals look as if they might actually be leaves, like that one there, for example. But I go over it and class it as a petal. And there's 2 or 3 other flowers like that as well. This one looks all petals. But this is one here, that looks like it might be a leaf as well. But I take it as a petal. So there we go. I just keep on going, colouring in like that until it's all finished, and I finish up with something that looks like this. Okay, I've already actually die cut that one, so I better die cut that one with you as well. Then I think that's it. The only other thing I want to do is the windows. Now first of all, the dies that I'm using to die cut these, I'm using the largest slimmer stitched rectangle die, trying to think what it's called, and I'm using that little square one that's on its own, that can die cut that one. Then this is going to be adhered onto this bit, and there should be another little purple bit for that, but it looks as if maybe I've lost it. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. It could turn up. Right, the other thing that I wanted to show you was this and this to do the windows. Okay, so let's pop those there. Oh, there it is. Right, so you'd either have two pieces like that for the windows, or you can do this. This is the sheet of our multi-purpose adhesive sheet. So what I do is I've cut myself a piece that's big enough to do two windows, and I am going to, if I can get it to let go of me, put my cardstock on there. Make sure I go straight. That's it. I'm just going to pop that back on there again. Keep everything clean. Right, let's clear up here and get the Big Shot up. Right, all I'm using with this is the magnetic plate, and the die for the window is actually from the stained glass framelits. Is that one there that I'm using? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on there, because obviously the sticky bit is underneath. Okay, let's put that on there. So that's that one there. Make sure I didn't move it. Yep, that's straight. I'm going to die cut this one. Just make sure that's nice and straight. I think it is, except a bit too low. Move that up a bit. Yep, that's good. And the other one was this one, wasn't it? And the reason I am still doing this one with you is because I want to explain. This will fit on so that you don't actually lose anything at the top and you don't lose anything at the bottom there. And the way it's done is so that you can just about see that that edge there is touching there. Where's my paper piercer? Okay, so that part of the die is just touching the black bit there. And when it's doing that, excuse me, you'll see that this edge here is just about touching the black there. If you die cut it like that, you won't lose anything. Even though, if you look at the dies, they look as if they really are right on the edge. Right, first of all this one. Okay, nice stitched edge. And this one, let's see if I've managed to do it. Yes, look at that. Let's turn that sideways, shall I? Neither end has been cut off. Couldn't be any closer, could it? But that's the one that's going to be finished later. Don't need that. Now this one I'm just going to put it through a couple more times. I doubt if it's necessary, but just in case. Oh, that's determined, isn't it? Right, my scrap paper. Oh yeah, that's come off really nicely. So that's for the next one. And then you'll find the sticky bit comes off really well, if you're lucky. In fact, I wonder if you really push that down, I wonder if all the pieces will come off as you pull it through. I know some of them do. I just wondered if they give it a little bit of extra pressure. I hope I'm not messing it up. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see what happens. No, it didn't make any difference. Right, okay. So we'll just push out the bits that we don't need. Most of the rest of it will come out as I take the Whisper White piece that I need out of the frame. Right, let's see if that does actually work. As you can see, there are still some bits in there. In that one. But let's see. Which one do we need to give to a push? Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go, see? Just popped out then. So all the pieces are gone. See that? So while I've got that here, I am going to adhere it on my card. If I find my tweezers. In fact, that has come out a lot better than the other two that I've done this afternoon. The first one I did with, I just used wet glue, and it was such an effort, and it finished up with feeling sticky on the top, whereas this doesn't. It just goes on there and it feels beautiful, really lovely. So let's get rid of that one. Oh, there's still one piece left in there. Right, this time what I'm going to try is just pull it straight out without worrying about trying to get any of the bits off first. Because it did appear that some of those pieces just pinged out. As I say, I'm not sure it really needs to go through again. Right, let me just get rid of the big shot. Okay, so we take it out of there. We take the backing off first. Okay, so that brings some of it out. And then I'm going to use my paper piercer just to push out my cardstock bit that I need. Oh. That's it. Okay. Oh, look, just all pops out. Well, nearly. 3 bits. Right, 5 bits. That's nearly, isn't it? So there we go. I'll leave that there. Sort that out afterwards. And my card. I just want to try and get the same distance from the bottom here that I've got there. And this just about fits the same width as this designer series paper. Okay, look how easy that goes on, and it's not sticky at all. Right, so this is this one, and that's this one. So we use Tombow here again. I'm sure you'll agree this is an easy card to make, albeit there's a lot of work in it. Now that, what I decided to do on my Grapefruit Grove card, I actually cut that off of my trimmer, so I'm going to try cutting that with scissors. I don't know whether I'll get away with it or not, but if I use my big scissors, because it can go in one straight line, I should be alright. Because I think this one fits really tightly. Yeah, this was another one where I really didn't want to get into 1/16 of inches. There's hardly any gap there at all. Yeah, you see that better on the white, can't you? Okay, let me see. Where's my big scissors gone? I moved them up here somewhere, didn't I? Right, let's see. Oh, that's alright. The other side could do with being a bit shortened, but oh yeah, should do. This is the trouble, isn't it? You start playing about with things like this and you think, oh, I shouldn't have started that. There we go. That's it. A little bit all the way round. Right, those I popped up on dimensionals. That one just had 4. And this one, I think, worked out to be 8. Right, so what I do to get my positioning right is I just let that one sit there for a minute. So when I pop this one down, it gives me an idea of positioning. There we go. Look straight. Yep. That's good. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of embellishment onto that. Let's do this one. I hope if you've joined my Facebook group called Happy Crafting, I hope if you make this, you'll share it in there. I'd love to see what ideas you come up with, what you decorate the cards with. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, please come over and join. It'd be lovely to see you over there. I'd love to see what you do as well. I'll put a link in the box below. Right, I'm using these Gingham Gala adhesive backed sequins. Half of them are flowers and half of them are normal straightforward straight sequins. Right, and I'm going to put a couple there as well. It just helps to show the windows up a bit. And I'm just going to put one up at the top there. They say we should do odd numbers. So there we go. So there we have today's project. I'm really, really pleased with that. So when it folds down, it folds that way. I did think about a belly band, but I decided against it because of there's too many bits that are sticking out. But it goes into one of our envelopes, so that's fine. So I hope you like this. I hope you give it a try. Let's have one standing up for you so that you can see it from the top. Yep, you can see that one. Bring that one down. Move over a little bit, can you? That's it. So many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments or any questions to ask, please leave them in the box below the video. And as I said earlier, the box below the video is actually, you have to view it on YouTube. Also in the box below the video, I'll put all the measurements, all the score lines, cut lines and everything like that. There'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, so if you want to buy any of these products, apart from the designer series paper on these two, which is a free gift that you can choose if your order is more than £45 or €90. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload another one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the button that's in the right hand corner, bottom corner, and then click the bell to say that you'd like to get notifications. And don't forget, I'd love to see you over at my Facebook group called Happy Crafting. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.